Hello, my name is Dave. I run the YouTube channel In-Game Campers. I'm mostly known for my handmade truck campers, but this is my second van build, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I think it's actually pretty darn neat. So this Jim that you guys see here is a 1998 Chevy Express van. It's got the 5.7 liter engine in it, or otherwise known as a 350, with the 4L60E transmission. Now this is a pretty neat van because this is actually a conversion van. After it was manufactured by Chevy, it was sent to Custom Craft, and as you guys will see on the inside, they added some nice details and so forth. Now, I acquired this van a couple months ago. It did have a few mechanical issues that I had to hash out, and then I spent some time making what I thought some pretty useful modifications. I also drove this as pretty much a daily driver, and kind of as the title indicates, I found that this van is incredibly versatile. It functions as a good passenger van because it's got the bed in there that's electronically controlled, so it can actually be twisted up into a seat position or down as a bed, as you guys will see. It works as a pretty good darn camper. I'll show you guys. I have an outdoor kitchen set up and some cabinetry that I put in the interior. But finally, with the bed in the downward configuration, it actually works as a pretty good cargo carrier too. I can slide a full 4x8 sheet of plywood inside of this van. Let's go around the back and take a look at what I did back. So this is the back. As you guys could see, I like these Chevys because the doors open up really wide, as you guys can see right here. Now what was done by the conversion, by Custom Craft when they made this a conversion van, is all of this fabric and this nice interior finishing was done by them. Now, you guys will see, I'll show you in a little bit greater detail, but this has, as you guys saw, big windows on the side. For the camper conversion part, I actually took some rigid foam board insulation, wrapped it in a fabric which matches the rough interior color of here. I think it complements it really nice. And then I put a layer of Thinsulate on the outside, and they're just friction fit in the frame around the window. This gives the van a real blackout feel if you were urban camping, for example, but it also adds a significant amount of insulation. Now let me show you guys how this chair works in here. So up here at the top, it has a couple controls, but one of them is that this electronic bed actually curves up into a seat. This seat is positioned in an upward fashion. You could still access the seat belts and sit in it like a cargo. So you'd have 2 seats in the front, and then you could sit a total of 3 people in the back. All right. So then just to put the bed down, you just hit this switch here, and it electronically moves in a downward position all the way down to the bed format. This part right here is a little outdoor kitchen / storage area that I set up. It has 2 drawers on either side. I have some limitations of how far deep back I can go because the bed has some structural elements that bolt to the ground, and there's also 4 golf cart batteries, which we'll talk about in a minute. Now this center drawer comes out like this. It's actually quite deep. I was able to extend it a little bit further back between the supports, and then the top pulls off, and it could sit up here in a couple different configurations. One being this way. You could push the drawer all the way back like this, or it could sit like this. Now the purpose of this is to function both as a worktop, but most notably, probably as an outdoor kitchen. So this right here would be a great example of a outdoor stove. It could be placed here. These drawers on the side can still be accessed. So if you come over to this side, what I put right here is a flip-up table with a collapsible sink. And this top sink surface right here has a drain that can be popped out. And this can also function as a cutting board in the upward position. Now right here is a simple water system that I've been using for a long time. This is just a pump. I got these on Amazon. These are used for those 5-gallon Sparklet style water bottles. You just slip this through, I found a plumbing fitting at the hardware store that happens to fit that perfectly. This slides right here, just half-inch hose, and then I use just a simple water bottle. Any water container can work. Now you've got water. So you've got an outdoor sink and an outdoor kitchen area with a lot of outdoor storage and other places to place your food or work for prep. All right, so now we're down into the main section here. So in its camper configuration, this would be kind of the main functioning or living space. Now, as you guys probably noticed, I added a couple of these lights up here just to add a little bit more illumination inside the camper van. And this center cabinet here is, I think, a pretty useful thing. So right here is a sink, and here's another one of those faucets. Down below here are two 6-gallon water containers which are strapped in, and the sink is made to drain into another container over here for the wastewater. And then this top right here, which is hardwood, by the way, is meant to fold over here to give you a little bit of additional space. Or you can fold it over like this if you want a nice writing surface, or to use your laptop or to eat from. Or, as you guys notice, there's no dedicated stove in here. You could take a butane stove or the stove that you use for the outdoor kitchen and place it right here if you wanted to cook indoors, if you had inclement weather, or if you were camping in the city. So right here is the cabinet door. Now keep in mind, this cabinetry was all custom made by myself. The light wood is actually poplar, which is a hardwood, and the darker wood is a birch plywood. It's got that two-tone look. I think it really matches well with the contemporary interior of this van. And this entire cabinet is bolted or screwed to the side of this van, but in about 20 minutes work, it could be removed if somebody wanted to. This door opens up right here. And inside of here, you guys can see there's a generous amount of storage, including some space down here for a small cassette toilet. This door right here, of course, has heavy-duty stops, so it can't fly open while you're driving. And these two water containers are strapped down here. Now, you guys will probably also notice right here, I put a track with a curtain right here, both for this section and over here to the side, that can be closed up if you were camping in the city or if you wanted to block out the light, just to give yourself a little bit of extra privacy. Now, fortunately, the headliner, much of the other work in here was already done by the conversion van manufacturer. But I think the addition of little things like this cabinet and the outdoor kitchen really added a lot of versatility and made this a really nice camper. This particular van would be very well suited for somebody who just wanted a daily driver that they could haul around stuff with, carry passengers, and maybe camp on the weekend, or perhaps even a full-timer. One other thing is, a lot of you guys might be asking about a fridge. Over here, down behind the seat, this is a small, little, narrow, tall fridge I found that actually slides nice and neat back there between the driver's seat and the side of this cabinet. All right, so this is a little bit closer look at some of the lights, but also the fabric covered panels that slide in what would be these window openings. Now, these two outside panels right here are just a friction fit. They're not going to fall out, but they could be removed if a person wanted to have window access, but they're double insulated. Like I said, it has that rigid foam board insulation. And then on the outside surface, between that rigid foam board insulation and the window, is a layer of Thinsulate, which gives it that dead black look for that outside window. But as you guys can imagine, that's a lot of surface area and a lot of insulation. And as I was working on this, I was looking at some of the internals of the conversion van manufacturer, and they actually added some insulation in some other places. So this little passenger van here is actually pretty well insulated for what it has. It has the standard carpet at the bottom, which is in pretty good shape. And I'm sure most of you guys noticed that the overall height of this is only about 51 inches. It's a standard height van. One final thing I wanted to talk about was the power system. So the previous owner had a whole solar system professionally added. So on the top there is 320 watts of solar. I actually painted the outside edge black just to try to make it a little bit more stealthy. Up there is a max air fan. It's the one that has a remote controller on it. And then down here is where the golf cart batteries. So they have a Xantrex, I believe is how you pronounce it, 2,000 watt inverter. And as you guys can see, this was a very well done system. And behind here is just a little over 500 amp hours of golf cart batteries. Now they are AGM style batteries, so of course we know that the functional amp hours is probably about 250, but that's still a pretty robust amount of battery power, coupled with the fact that you get 320 watts of solar, plus this is hooked up so that when the engine is running, it also charges the solar system. Up there in the corner, that's the monitor for the solar charge controller. And as I think you guys see in here, this thing is really, really clean. I didn't have to do much. Like I said, I fixed some mechanical repairs. And even though the cabinetry is pretty minimal, I think it added a lot of versatility and use to this van. So thanks guys for watching. I think this was a pretty neat van. These are pretty inexpensive, and there is a lot of them out there. And I think with a little bit of creativity, you can turn one of these vans into a really nice camper. But as I also described, a very versatile rig in the sense that you can carry passengers. And if you wanted to carry a sheet of plywood, you could too. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all those things. And also check out, I've built a total of 8 other handmade truck campers I think you guys might like. All of them are unique and different. And I've also built a 4-wheel drive van. I'll link up some of those videos in the description, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.